Hey everybody, Paul back here again from Ballistic Blood Bullets with some Wuxia wonderment and Kung Fu coolness, and they don't come much cooler than the great one and only Jimmy Wang Yu, who in many respects single-handedly changed the face of Kung Fu movies and set the precedents for people like Bruce Lee to follow and have great hits and success in Hong Kong cinema. And this is one of those movies that Jimmy Wang Yu made when he left the Shaw Brothers and he set up pretty much a production of his own company, and started making movies with others in Taiwan, which was Jimmy Wang Yu's home country. And this is Blood of the Dragon, aka The Desperate Chase, made in 1971, and this is a very, very cool and very welcome German hardbox edition, and all of the German language goodness resplendent on the cover of this very cool looking hardbox itself. Let's just have a look around it, and of course we get all the goodness that is very much commonplace with the great German hardbox editions that can be found, and this is one of those great examples, not only front but also back, very nicely done. We get that nice sheen effect, very cool film, and telling us a little bit about the film here, but of course it is all in German, so unless you are citizen of the great Republic of Germany or a German fluent, it's going to be tricky. But don't worry, because the film itself, of course, is in English language as well as having a German track, and its original Mandarin or Cantonese track as well. And here we have the disc inside, DVD disc, and I believe it is a Region 2 PAL disc, nothing else inside, but very simply done. But again, it is very stylishly done for a hardbox edition, so no worries, no concerns at all. Very, very cool edition, and it is one of the ones that isn't actually too expensive, so if it is a film that appeals, very much a serious consideration for picking up. Very, very cool indeed. So this is Blood of the Dragon, starring the one and only Jimmy Wang Yu. Very, very much a cult character and star of those Shaw Brothers movies, Hong Kong films, action movies, Taiwan from the 60s, 70s into the 80s, and he was still making films in the 90s, and he's actually still making films today after a long hiatus away. This one itself is a very, very cool and very welcome edition, and it is a wide screen, proper ratio 16:9, TV friendly as well, and it is the fullest version of the movie that can be found. It is still slightly cut. There is a couple of scenes in the movie, one in particular which does show and stand out, and there is a scene where bad guy gets one of his fingers chopped off by Jimmy Wang Yu's character. We see the bloody after effect, but don't see the finger itself actually coming away from the hand. But otherwise this is a very much pretty full complete version, so if you're after the full uncut version, I suspect it's going to be very, very difficult to be able to piece it together and find one. So this, for all intents and purposes, is a full version, and there are inserts to this particular release which have been attained, I understand, from Ocean Shores videotapes, but the quality depreciation isn't too bad at all. You can see that it goes from DVD to VHS, but it isn't terrible quality. It does actually fit in, and the cool thing about this is, because it's an old style movie, having those crackles and lines throughout the film make it feel as if you are watching the original movie back in the 70s. So for me, that's not a problem. It gives just that extra bit of authenticity, and it really engages and involves the viewer, so no problems at all for that. Now, what is quite interesting as well, that why the film is generally released in a cut version, as far as I can see, it really, by today's standards, certainly isn't an excessively violent film at all, and there's not a lot of blood and guts, but certainly what it would seem to be is the cuts were made for extended, sustained violence, because the film is just jam-packed with action, violence throughout, and definitely it can be said that those long scenes are definitely sustained. So I'm guessing that is the reason for the cuts that have been made. But those grainy and speckled film clips on this, it just really does give it that feel of authenticity, like you're back in 1971. Now, film stock of that old speckled grainy style really does add to the old school charm of this, and all that is missing is that good old 70s Pearl and Dean advert. Remember those? Just have a quick look here at some of the other Jimmy Wang Yu films that are available on DVD there, but as I say, it would have been very cool just to have had some old style Pearl and Dean playing out in the background as well. Now, the movie itself, just to give you a little bit of information about it, it is a very good action movie, that's for sure. But of course we have the typical tyrannical emperor, and he is ruling the land, and he is seeking out the threat of an upsurgence by the people. And there is a secret list of names of good fighting rebels who are banding together, but this list has to be given to a righteous prince, but the emperor and his men are tracking it down by force, and the list comes into the hands of a young boy, and the boy is tasked to deliver the list to the prince as a dying last request of a loyal subject caught up in the villainous attack from the emperor's men that cost him his life. Now, the young boy, of course, is aided by good old Jimmy Wang Yu. And Jimmy Wang Yu's character in this movie is the lone white dragon. Very much the hero of the piece. And Jimmy Wang Yu's character, the white dragon, in taking on the task, must fight for his very life to uphold the secret names upon the list, as of course the emperor's men set upon him, and the white dragon takes a stand at a remote inn, and mostly single-handedly throughout the entire film fights to survive a bloody encounter against several dozen of the Emperor's best fighting men. Really is quite incredible stuff, and the last 20 minutes of the film itself is just non-stop bloody spear against bloody sword action. Lots of added ocean shore scenes here throughout the end sequence, because it is definitely sustained violence of the highest order. Now, bonus material here on the extras. We do get lots of Jimmy Wang Yu movie trailers. There's over 10 very cool looking Jimmy Wang Yu movie trailers. That's something to look out for. There's a picture slideshow, and there's a different opening and end credit sequences as well, which are on the DVD. English, Hong Kong, and English, shall we say, American dubs on this one as well. Now, the Hong Kong English dub really is not the one to go for. Becomes obvious that it's a bit comical. the American English language dub is the one to select, and it is very much in that Hong Kong style of the 70s, so that's the one to go for. But certainly this is the way to go for the most complete version of Blood of the Dragon, and to get your Jimmy Wang Yu kicks as well. Very cool. This is definitely a German hardbox to seek out if you're a collector of the hardboxes, a Jimmy Wang Yu fan, or somebody who's after sustained violence in what is the most complete version of Blood of the Dragon from 1971. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope everybody is well. Take care, everybody. See you all soon. Bye for now.